Today we're going to be reviewing the M18 Rover by Milwaukee. What is up, guys? Bringing you a different kind of review today, but something I'm very excited about. Today we're going to be reviewing the M18 Rover by Milwaukee. Now, in addition to YouTube, I am also a sheet metal worker and have been for over 15 years. Over the course of my career, I have used a lot of tools, and I've got to say, guys, Milwaukee's proved to be the toughest in the field that I have used, and they continue to get better. I'm not a paid spokesman, I'm not a compensated influencer by any means, but I definitely know that when I need to get something done and I absolutely can't fail as far as my tools are concerned, I pick up a red and black one, and that means that's that Milwaukee line. Ever since the first Milwaukee kind of hook drop light that I had that was LED, I really was impressed with the brightness and the clarity of the color temperature they chose for their LED to work in complete darkness with. Being a sheet metal worker, I have to access ductwork sometimes, and that means getting in the hole, okay? It's so dark you literally can't see your hand in front of your face without a light. If you turn your drop light out inside a ductwork, you're by yourself in the inky black. That's not the position that you want to be in if potentially your access hole is out of sight. The M18 line is typically what I've been reliant on throughout my entire career because 18-volt tools typically have been the standard in the field that I've worked with. Early in my career, I was a DeWalt 18-volt NiCad guy, like the old school, like tried and true Sawzall drill combo you would get at Home Depot, 18-volt through and through, right? That voltage, for whatever reason, seems to have stuck throughout the duration of tools that I've sampled in my career, and the toughest tools seem to be 18-volt. The Milwaukee batteries, not only do they seem to resist any drop that I've had from a 6-foot ladder type height, but they also have a battery meter on the front of them, so you're going to be able to see exactly what the level is of the battery that you're working with at that point in time. I also like the fact that over the time that they've been in existence, the capacity has greatly increased. I don't remember what the first battery was, like 1.0 or 1.2 amp hours as far as the battery capacity was concerned, and then somewhere along the line things just got crazy on the capacity end of it, because now 5 amp hours is pretty much standard and 9 amp hours is considered extended runtime. Cordless tools are absolutely taking the place of corded tools in the workplace. I know from personal experience, my 18 gauge Milwaukee cordless double cut shear every bit as tough as the corded shear that it replaced. The hammer drills that I've had from M18 in the past, every bit as tough as any corded drill, and they don't really rip my arm off either when they bind up on a big 4-inch hole saw or something like that cutting through steel. This year with the Milwaukee One Key stuff, it's gotten to an entirely new level. Honestly, recently at work we re-equipped our entire lineup with all Milwaukee M18 stuff, and I wasn't even aware of the One Key feature. What is One Key? One Key is an app that allows me to see where my tools are on an off-job site and lock them out remotely if they get stolen. That by itself would be good enough. But on top of that, it also inventories all my stuff for me. It also sees who it is in the company that it's checked out to and what department they're affiliated with. So for me, as the foreman of my department, the lead guy in charge of it, I can be very accountable to the people above me as far as where their asset investment is currently in the field. Alright guys, well, without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. This is going to be the review of Milwaukee's M18 LED Rover floodlight. Alright guys, what you're going to actually see here in front of you is the Milwaukee M18 Rover floodlight itself. There's two versions of this light, both the M12 and the M18. I opt for the M18, that's what my entire line is at work. Also, in general, I'm just a fan of the capacity of an 18-volt battery. Let's go ahead and get this guy cut open and see what it's all about. Alright guys, the first thing you're going to notice about this Rover here is the fact that it's got a pivoting head on it right here. This pivoting head goes side to side. It also goes back and locks in its clicked position there. It's got some magnets right here that are plenty strong enough to hold the weight of this light itself. And what's also cool that I haven't seen on other lights before is it's got this little hydraulic clamp. And it kind of form fits to whatever type of an object. It'll fit around a 2x4, it'll fit around a pipe, it'll fit around, you know, whatever you happen to have around, a door, whatever you've got hanging around, you can hang this light on. Now, earlier in this video when I referenced the fact that I used to have a little Milwaukee LED hook light that ran on M18 batteries as well, it used one of these little chips, I believe. It looked exactly the same as this tiny little LED chip that you see in the 5 positions on this Rover light in front of you. Each one of these could potentially be equivalent to the output of that one light. So if that means that this drop light is the equivalent to 5 of those hook lights, this is going to be a very, very bright drop light. I have not personally owned this drop light before, but I have definitely owned enough Milwaukee drop lights to know that they are very, very, very efficient at doing what they are designed to do, which is providing light to a dark space. Very standard, very typical looking M18 battery slot. Alright guys, you can see right away that when the battery starts to get low, the Rover actually lets you know before it dies completely. That way if you are in a dark environment, it's not just going to completely shit the bed on you like my camera is just about to. What it's going to go ahead and do is give you that margin of safety to hopefully get out of the environment that you're not able to see in, back to a charging area, or at least to an area where you can see.
Alright guys, it is currently very late and it is currently very dark in my backyard where I've got this M18 Rover ready to fire off. That's pretty phenomenal, guys. Honestly, I saw a review where the guy had made a review on this Rover light and he had questioned as to whether or not this light was actually worth the purchase price of about $97 on Amazon that I physically paid for it. And honestly, with 20 hours of runtime on this setting off one battery and about 5 hours of runtime rated on this battery, this is probably about the best light a guy can get his hands on for less than $100. Considering the fact it's also got multiple mounting modes, the fact that it could be a magnet, it could be a clamp light, it can also stand on its own accord. This is probably one of the most versatile lights I have ever come across. Also, given the fact that it's got dust, impact, and moisture rating that Milwaukee has given it, also given the fact that it's got a dust, impact, and moisture rating straight from Milwaukee, probably going to be able to survive that 5-year warranty, guys.
Alright guys, that's going to wrap up today's in-depth review of the Milwaukee M18 Rover LED floodlight. I really like what I've seen so far from this light, and I have high expectations of it bringing it into the field for the first time today. Got that Carhartt on, got my tool bag on from CLC, and got my M18 Rover from Milwaukee. That means I'm ready to start my shift, guys. Alright you guys, well if you liked this video, make sure you give it that thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe for more with that bell notification button so you can stay current on what we got going on the channel. If you really like this video, share it so somebody else can see it. And as always guys, I'll catch you in the next one.